Hi lovers, thank you for visiting Irish Chic again. If this is your first time, remember to subscribe below. So, I have really exciting news for you. I'm engaged! So this happened on Saturday, October 21st, about 2 weeks ago. I was completely shocked, surprised, everything. I'm just like really happy right now, but before I was just like, I was shocked when it happened. And you'll hear more about my proposal story. I'll be introducing my fiance. It feels so amazing to say that word. Rupert, who will be joining me in the next clip. So stay tuned and see you soon. Hey everyone, this is Rupert. Rupert, say hi.
Hi everyone.
So, Rupert surprised me 2 weeks ago. Just to give you a little bit of background, the week before he proposed, we had my birthday staycation in New York City.
Yeah.
And we spent that time just enjoying the city, and then a week later, he proposed to me. So, Rupert, on Saturday, October 21st,
yes.
What was going through your mind?
Everything. To go back, I mean, you always hear the stories about people who are nervous when it comes to proposing. On the actual proposal day, I was not nervous at all. A lot of my nervousness really happened when I first, I guess it would have been early September, when I first picked out the ring. Went to the jeweler, picked it out, and decided, okay.
Love the ring, by the way.
I said, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna, pick it out, and almost passed out in a jewelry store. Almost passed out in a jewelry store. But went through it, and then just had to decide on a date that I was gonna do it. Picked out a day. We had so much other stuff going on in the month that I knew I wanted to do it at the High Line. High Line Park in New York City.
Right.
It's actually an old elevated train line, so it's an outdoor park, obviously.
Right,
so
right.
we were running out of warm days in the year, so I knew I really wanted to do it. And we had some other events. You mentioned we had your birthday, and I'm never a fan of me personally. I'm never a fan of proposing on holidays, birthdays, Valentine's Day, stuff like that. That's just me.
Right.
So I wasn't gonna do it. And then when I really worked it out, then we had, expos and this, that, and the other.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, it's the 21st. It's the only day that's left.
So it's funny because on that day, it was a Saturday, and I don't usually go to work on Saturdays, but I had to work that Saturday because it was a really busy week for me. He had said to me, wear something nice because I know you have to work, but we'll do dinner in the afternoon, in the evening.
Yeah,
right.
We'll do dinner in the city.
Yeah, we'll do dinner in the city.
Little
did I know, because we do dinner in the city all the time. We're one of those couples who tend to go out a lot, right? We do a lot. We're not homebodies, so I didn't really think anything of it. And it was a very warm day for late October.
Yeah.
So he was like, we should go to the High Line, right? And funny enough, the week before, for my birthday staycation, I suggested going to the High Line, but he's like, oh, let's do something a little bit different. We're in New York City. It's your birthday. Let's do something, some things that we haven't done before. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. And even before then, I suggested the High Line. And
couple weeks before. And I had to flatly say no.
Right.
Because I was going to propose there.
And I had no idea. So,
exactly. So if we went to the High Line a month before, how am I going to convince her to go to the High Line, just a month later?
Right.
It's like, we just did that. We can do blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we should probably give them a background about why the High Line is very special for us.
Right.
We went there on our 4th date and stayed for 4 hours. We had such a great time. I would say it was the date that solidified our relationship, and we just had a great time there. We took a bunch of selfies.
Yeah.
We
took selfies. The date I always describe is one of those pivotal dates early on.
Right.
That every couple has, that you know where things are going to go, or at least you have an idea of where things are going to go, and you look back on it and you really say, okay, this was a time when we decided, this. We talked about, talked about a lot of things.
We
were
did.
Talking for a while.
Yeah.
Talked about a lot of things.
When you have that question, are we doing this or not?
We didn't ask that question then.
Not that question, but women, we have that question whether or not we're gonna go forward with committing, and I'm sure men do too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, have that date solidified a lot. I realized we shared some of the same values, values that are really important to me.
A lot of same values, same goals, same wants, likes, dislikes, needs, mindsets
about certain things.
Yes.
We were on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Yeah. He had good vibes, and I like that. So, yeah. Plus, you're handsome and funny and witty.
Oh no!
Smart.
Stop!
So that's why it was the High Line. So I met him at the subway.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet at the High Line. Somebody's uncharacteristically late.
Well, the subway trains in New York City on the weekend. Need I say any more?
So we walked over to the High Line. Like I said, it's an elevated park on an old train line. So we walked upstairs, and we kind of recreated. Almost recreated, but almost in like reverse order.
Right.
Of what we did. So we stopped. We got a little something to eat there. A little snack. We had a glass of wine. I had a beer. We had little snacks, some fries and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we were walking along, took a couple more pictures, and then we went back to a spot, the spot where we sat last year.
Right.
And we took some funny selfies and everything last year.
Yeah.
It was I just got into my routine. I planned out what I was going to say, had a little speech prepared, a little spiel ready to go. And then I said, all right, well, time to start talking. And I knew once I started talking, at the end of the talking, I was going to propose. So I just started talking.
So I'll tell you what happened from my perspective. We were walking. There were a lot of people at the High Line that day because, as I mentioned,
it was unseasonably warm.
Yes. Great weather, and so we were walking hand in hand, talking, looking at the amazing views. Because you should go to the High Line; it has great views of New York City. We were there at the High Line talking, and then we found that spot that Rupert mentioned, the same spot where we sat and talked for a long time last year. And we were talking, and he said, how do I recreate 4 hours? No, what did you say?
Last time we were here, we spoke for 4 hours. How do I follow up and how do I recreate 4 hours, of getting to know somebody? That was really pivotal. I don't think I can, but I could probably sum it up in 4 words. And
will you marry me? 4 words, right? But I wasn't thinking about marriage or proposing or getting engaged at the time. I just thought we were at the High Line having a great time. So I was like, what's going on? What? So then he got up and I was like, what are you doing? And then he got down and asked again. And I was just so shocked, so surprised, so happy. I couldn't talk for at least 10 seconds.
It felt like 10 minutes.
Right.
I'm just there holding the ring like, hey, does that mean yes?
And I was like, yes, of course. But I was really so caught off guard that I didn't know what to say in the moment. I couldn't speak, right? I was beyond happy, beyond excited. I said yes, and one of the beautiful things. Eventually. He says eventually. It wasn't that long. But one of the beautiful things that happened for us was someone saw what was happening.
Yes.
While it was happening, and then came over and said, listen, I took a number of pictures and I can text them to you guys. And I thought that was really thoughtful. Yeah. And if I ever see that in the future, I'm going to make sure I'm that person. He saw what was going down. I guess he saw me standing up and reaching into my pocket, and he said,
oh, I know what's gonna happen here. And you know, I started taking pictures, and he sent us about a half dozen or so. maybe
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
of good photos, good
Right.
candid shots.
And we'll make sure we share some at the end of the video so
Yes.
you can see what took place. Also, a crowd gathered while this was taking place, and you know, that felt good. It was romantic, it was intimate, it was just the two of us.
Yes.
It was classy.
Yes.
But it still felt good to have that support, and we have so much support from the people closest to us. I couldn't wait to call my mother, my sister, my closest family and friends to let them know the exciting and amazing news. I'll be marrying this amazing guy. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
And so we ended the night at Budokan,
Budokan.
my favorite restaurant
Yes.
in New York City.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing that happened that day. And guys who propose, I know you plan out, you try and plan out every detail of the day, but sometimes things still, you gotta adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
But we had to adjust on the fly, but everything was planned from the proposal to the location to dinner afterwards to the time of the proposal, because your mother's out the country.
Yes.
And I knew, okay, at a particular time, I can't propose at 9 o'clock because it's 2 a.m.
Right.
Where she
Yeah, it's
is.
like 5 hours ahead,
You know,
right?
so I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing, definitely calls her mother for the blessing beforehand.
And he knew that was important to me.
Yes.
And I do
yes.
appreciate
Got the
that.
blessing beforehand, and she was the only person on your side who knew
Right.
I was going to propose. The only.
And she's
person.
great at keeping secrets.
Yes, the only person. So
Yeah.
she gave the blessing. And then we just
We celebrated at
Celebrated.
Budokan.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. We're in the beginning stages of planning our wedding. So stay tuned. I'm sure you'll see him again. And yeah.
normally
that
I'm
was
behind the camera.
Right. Thanks for joining today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you for saying yes.
Of course. Thanks for making the best decision of your life.
Ditto.
All right. See you guys later.
Take care. Bye bye.